I'll be honest with you. When we signed TJ Slaton, I was not the first to think this was going to be the best addition ever. But after learning more about him, going through all his stuff, I'm very happy we have him. But now it seems like this might be one of the best free agent signings. So far, TJ Slaton has been one of the most understated additions to the roster this offseason because he's become a true leader on this defense. And listen, we lost, obviously, Jermaine Pratt, who was a captain. We lost Von Bell. We lost Mike Hilton. These are all very good leaders on this defense. Now, obviously, Mike Hilton, Jermaine Pratt, and, Von Bell definitely have not been able to play as they used to play, right? But it doesn't mean they're not good leaders. It doesn't mean they're not good going out there and helping out the defense. So, it definitely hurts losing those guys. And when you have a very young defense like we have, I mean, look at our defensive tackle room. Chris Jenkins, McKinley Jackson, they're brand new. They're babies. Miles Murphy, he's a baby too. Same thing with Joseph Asai. Like, these guys are young. You need someone who's a veteran leader who can step up and really push this team forward because our secondary, Geno Stone, Jordan Battle, our linebacking crew, very young as well. There's not as many veterans on this defense as we've had in the past. So the veterans you have, you need them to step up and really teach the young guys how to do things and how to get to that next level, what to do, what not to do, how to perform at a top level. So to hear that one of the veterans we did pick up on defense is already doing that, A+ work. Now we need Owen Burks to start doing that as well. I'm not saying he hasn't, but I haven't really heard much about him. But he did go ahead and say, I've never been in this position before. We got a lot of young guys on the defense, and I'm trying to communicate and be a great teammate. And I feel like that's another thing that has been really a big issue, and I said this a lot with our secondary, is communication. It seems simple, it seems easy to kind of break down, right? But communication is humongous. That's why you miss tackles. When you can't communicate on defense, you're not in the right spot. You're not all together when it comes to mentals here, like with each other, and you're going to miss tackles. You're not going to be in the correct spot to make the tackle, right? You're going to miss the coverage. You need communication. So that's been a big issue for our defense. I know it seems simple, but it has really been our biggest issue. So love to see this, that, he's helping work on communication. Again, for our secondary-wise, they've been hurt. And they're young, they've been hurt, they haven't been able to play together. And yes, practice and OTAs and mandatory minute, all this stuff is very important, right? And yes, it does help them out. But nothing helps you out more than playing on the field. Nothing helps you more than being in the game. Like, you can practice all you want, you can do everything you want possible to make sure you're the best. But really what helps you out the most is actually being in the game, working with your teammates, being in a critical situation where, it's the game-winning drive, you have to get a stop, stuff like that. Because no matter how much you practice, you're never going to know how it feels until it happens. And then you learn from that, right? And then you, again, as teammates, you grow together. You're like, okay, well, I know I can trust this guy here, this, and this. You start getting like keys, or I say keys, but you saw, kind of having that undercover code with one another. That kind of stuff, more valuable than anything. And when you have a player, DJ Turner last year got hurt. Cam Taylor-Britt obviously did not have a good season last year, ups and downs. Dax Hill goes down with injury right when he's about to go to the cornerback position, plays a couple games, gets hurt. When you have stuff like that, it takes away from having those moments, growing that chemistry, and having those situations develop. So, and you need those veteran leaders. Why I said I wouldn't be against the idea of bringing in the veteran corner, because that would help us to get that communication more on check and kind of maybe develop it a little bit more. I love to see TJ Slaton is that guy right now who's helping out our young defense. Obviously, he's probably more for a defensive line, but still, it's, again, you want that veteran leader in the locker room. You know, you want that kind of mentor in the locker room who's keeping everyone in check. But this, again, why I would not be against the idea of picking up a veteran safety. A lot of people think, well, we're fine. We don't need a veteran safety. Well, we do, because we have a young secondary. And bringing in veteran safety is more than just, oh, well, we have a guy who's really good and can play. It's also, you have someone who can teach. Someone who can help develop. Someone who can, kind of keep everything together. Because, again, the more experience you have as a player, the more you're going to be able to teach other players through that experience. Now, again, like I said, it's not going to change anything when it comes to them in game. Like when they're actually in game, they're going to have to do it themselves. But all the experience you can give to a young player, the better. So, again, like I said, I'm very excited that TJ Slaton is that guy, and I'm hoping we can get somebody else. But, bring in some other veterans as well. There's a reason why people love veterans, because they've seen a thing or two, and they've done a thing or two, Anyway, especially if you want to be a Super Bowl team, when you get to those AFC Championship games, Divisional Round Championship games, you're one and done. It's win or go home. So you need these guys to be as veteran, season weathered as possible. And the thing is, when you have young guys, it's hard to do that. But just get someone in there veteran, get some good leadership, and things get figured out. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, though, guys. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.